against perfection. Everything that you do to change what it is already, you are going against the perfection. Because everything that it is already perfect. But the ego keeps saying this is not it. Ego says it should be something else. And what makes it uncomfortable for you is when you're trying to resist the perfection and not succeed. And if perfection is against what you want, the more you resist it, the more perfection keeps coming in, but you're miserable about it. So the moment the perfection gets in the line that you're going, ego takes the credit. He goes, oh, I did it. You get it? In other words, things are going the way they're going. Everything is already perfect. When my little self says it's not perfect, then my little self makes me miserable because it keeps saying, oh, it should be something else. The head keeps going, we go in the virtual reality, which is not even in reality. It should be this way, that's better, I wish it was that way, what can I do to make it this way? And somehow, some way, all of a sudden, the reality turns because it was supposed to turn, it was going this way, and goes along with what I want. And instead of just saying, oh, the reality is already perfect, ego immediately jumps up and says, you see, I keep thinking about it, I keep hoping and wishing, and now it's happening that way.
Will you give me an example? Give an example. Yeah.
And the ego takes the credit. It's kind of like you, let's say you have the job, and you want to make more money in your job. And you keep saying, well, this is not it, this is not it, this job doesn't give me enough money, what can I do, what am I going to do? Now, somehow, someway, it gets to the point that the boss wants to give you a raise. The boss wants to give you a raise. And you come to the boss, you say, you know, I've been working here for a long time. He says, yeah, I know. Well, I really think I should have a raise. He goes, yes, you can have a raise. He said, you see, I did it. I should have thought. Like, it wouldn't make a difference. You would get a raise anyway. Now, somehow, some way, sometimes ego gets in the way a little bit. Let me give you a very good example of it. I was in this restaurant personally. Again, I'm just talking about myself. And the waiter came. The waiter was giving me a very good service. So I already had a $5 bill which I was going to put for this service because I really felt the waiter was doing good service. And then all of a sudden I noticed waiter ego came up and turned to me. He goes, you know, I've really been giving you very good service. I said, yeah, I know. He goes, no, you don't know. I've really been giving you a good service. I even give you a little bit more portion of the food that you ask for. Good service. And I work for tip. All of a sudden I realized he's not worthy. And the $5 went back in my pocket and I put $2 in there. And as I was walking away, I noticed he turned to his friend, you see, you have to ask for it. You have to ask for what you want. That's the way you get buddy. He was telling his friend, that's the way you get buddy. I had to ask for it. This guy wasn't going to give me anything. I had to ask for it. And I said, isn't that amazing? If he just didn't buy to his ego and he got quiet, because I noticed he gave me a great service. I was going to give him 5. But because he said that, all of a sudden I realized this is not what I want. I don't feel peace giving this guy $5. Because nobody likes needy people. You don't like needy people. I mean, if you have a relationship and the person says, I need you, I gotta have you, you don't want to be in that relationship. Because needy is grabby. You want somebody that's open to receive. And so in that situation, all of a sudden I felt peace to give him $2. And it was amazing because I was listening to him. He was telling his friend, you know, that's the way to do it. So once you get your ego out of the way, the doors can open up much more than what your ego can do to get it in.
So,
hold on for a second. To begin with, if you don't get your ego involved, you see the truth. And the truth is, what is in front of you is for your highest good. And you can see it right there if you're not judging it, if you don't have your ego there. Because when you have your ego there, then you cannot see it. Because you are in your ego, you're in your head, you're in a virtual reality, which is not even in the truth. And you keep saying, oh, this should be that, that should be that. Because ego, your ego doesn't want your highest good. And your ego believes in suffering. So if something coming to you effortlessly, spontaneously, easily, ego said, that's not good. Ego said, I didn't work hard for it. I didn't suffer for it. Because ego sees God as himself, coming from need. Ego sees God that in order for you to have something, you have to suffer for it. Therefore, if you don't suffer for it, you don't deserve it. Yes, Max?
So, I'm trying to understand this. If you purchase a car,
okay,
and then you decide you don't like the car, but so is a car that you purchase perfect, like to change your mind about the car, take it back, or do you purchase a plan and you decide you don't like the plan?
Yeah, you ask him what she's asking. If you purchase the car and you change your mind, is that the car was perfect or not? See, that has a lot of circumstances in there. Did you purchase the car out of excitement because salesperson told you that's the best car, or they have a sales on it, or this and that? Or did you purchase the car because you felt peace? If you felt peace, then that was for your highest good. And usually you don't change your mind. But you could purchase the car, you could go over there, because I've seen people going over there, they want to buy, let's say, Mazda. And then the salesman talked them into buying, let's say, Cadillac or Toyota. And then when they go home, they go, wait a minute, I really want a Mazda. Why did I do that? And then they get back. So that situation has to do about where the whole thing started.
So really, any circumstance where you've reached perfection, if you've reached it by peace, right?
Exactly.
Position of peace, then you're at perfection.
Yeah, it's a very clear thermometer or barometer that whatever you choose with peace in your heart is the right thing for you.
You know, like, you know, you're aware that I help my children, my daughter.
Right.
But I felt, with a lot of money, right? But I felt a lot of peace with it. And still feel a lot of peace with it, because everything's flowing. But every once in a while, ego comes in, right? And disturbs me, and then I get back to peace again. I don't want to change anything, but...
Right.
So you're just confirming to me that because I made the decision on peace and I trust God, that it was the right decision.
It was a perfect choice, yes. And the ego always going to come up, because the ego is trying to put his 2 cents in there. He's trying to put the monkey wrench in a machine and tell you that wasn't a good idea.